U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the U.S. Navy to block the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. Central Command says its forces will restrict all vessels entering and exiting Iranian ports starting Monday morning U.S. time. Our foreign affairs correspondent Oh Soo-young has the latest.
U.S. forces will begin blockading maritime traffic in and out of Iranian ports from Monday, after negotiations between Washington and Tehran broke down in Islamabad. In a post on X on Sunday, the U.S. Central Command announced the measure, saying the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas, including all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. CENTCOM, however, clarified its forces would not impede freedom of navigation for vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz to and from non-Iranian ports. The maritime measure follows the failed 21-hour talks in Pakistan between US and Iranian delegations. US President Donald Trump said Iran refused to give up on its nuclear weapons ambition and declared the US would soon begin the blockade. He added he had instructed the Navy to intercept vessels paying passage fees to Iran, and that the US would begin destroying mines laid by Iran along the strait. Experts say the failure of the first round was perhaps expected, but should not lead to escalation.
Neither side may have wanted to give the impression that they came to an agreement too quickly. They could be opening themselves up for criticism at home that they may have given in too much or too easily. So in and of itself, that is not necessarily the problem. But if on substance they remain this far away from each other and there is escalation simultaneously, that certainly doesn't bode well.
Trump told Fox News Sunday Morning Features that Iran hasn't left the bargaining table, and he predicts Tehran will come back to give the US everything it wants. He later told reporters at Joint Base Andrews that he doesn't care and is fine if Iran doesn't return to negotiations. The Wall Street Journal reported the same day that Trump and his advisors are considering limited military strikes in Iran, in addition to the US blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, as a way to break a stalemate in peace talks. Although the White House declined to discuss specific options, officials told the Journal that hours after the Islamabad talks collapsed, the president considered resuming a full-fledged bombing campaign, though less likely, or a more temporary blockade. He also reportedly remains open to a diplomatic solution. In the meantime, Oman has called for an extension to the 2-week ceasefire set last Tuesday to allow more time for the US and Iran to continue dialogue. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.